instructional video is on solving multi-step equations with the distributive property. To solve multi-step equations with the distributive property, our first step is going to be to distribute. And we know the word distribute is with parentheses, meaning we are going to multiply. We multiply our numbers first. Our second step is going to be to combine the like terms if necessary. When you are combining, it means you're going to add your positive and negative numbers together. And your final step is to solve the equation. This is where you draw your line down the equal sign and we do the opposite operations. Friends met up for coffee and dessert. Each friend got a medium drink and 2 cupcakes, and one friend bought a mug for $12. The friend who bought the mug paid for their order, and the total was $29. So when we are solving this problem, we're going to use the information provided at the bottom that the medium coffee costs $3.50. We know that they bought 2 muffins each, but we don't know how much those muffins cost. And it does tell us that the mug cost $12. It also tells us that our total was $29. So when we solve our problem, we would start with our parentheses first. We would distribute and multiply the 2 with the $3.50 and the 2 for the 2 muffins. Combining our like terms, we would end up with our distributed answer of 7 plus 4 muffins plus 12 equals our $29. We would then combine our like terms, 7 and 12. 7 plus 12 would give us a value of 19. When it comes to actually solving the equation, we work it backwards by doing the inverse or the opposite operation. So instead of a plus 19, we would do the opposite and do a minus 19, which gets us a value of 10. The 4 and the m written side by side so they touch means multiplication. So again, we do the inverse or the opposite and divide. 10 divided by 4 gets us 2.5, which in terms of money would represent $2.50. Number 2, we start with our parentheses, meaning we're going to multiply both sets of numbers. Negative 4 and negative 6 would give us a positive 24x. Negative 4 times 3 gives us a value of negative 12. And then our equals 12 at the back. Drawing our line down our equal sign, we move our numbers away from the variable. When you move a number, it changes to the opposite. So minus 12 would become plus 12. 12 plus 12 gives us 24. We also need to move the 24 away from the letter x. The 24 and the letter x together, written side by side so they touch, means multiply. So we do the opposite, we divide. 24 divided by 24 is 1. For number 3, again, we would start with parentheses. When we have parentheses, we start with multiplication. 2 and x would make 2x. 2 and 8 would make 16. When it comes to combining our like terms, we can combine the 4 and the negative 16. 4 and negative 16 gives us a value of negative 12. To solve the actual equation, we work it backwards, meaning we do the opposite or the inverse, and our minus 12 becomes plus 12. The 44 plus 12 gives us a value of 56. And then our final step is to divide our 2. 56 divided by 2 gives us a final answer of 28. For number 4, we start with our parentheses and we multiply our negative 3 times 2 to get negative 6. Negative 3 times negative 3 would make a positive 9, plus the 10x equals 39. Our next step is to combine our like terms, the -6 and the +10, because they both share the same letter x, which gives us a value of 4x. Plus 9 equals 39. To solve the equation, we draw our line down the equal sign. We move our numbers away from the variable x. When we move our numbers, they change to the opposite. So plus 9 changes to a -9, which gets us a value of 30. When we have our final step, we divide to get our number away from the letter x. 30 divided by 4 gives us a value of 7.5. For number 5, we start with our parentheses and we multiply our 2/3 fraction. 2/3 times 6 gives us the value 4, so 4x. 2/3 times the 30 gives us a value of 20. We can then combine our like terms, 8 and 20, which would make 28. When it comes to solving the equation, we move our number away from the variable x. When we move our number, it changes to the opposite, so plus 28 would become -28, which gives us a value of 52. Our final step is to move the 4 away from the letter x as well by dividing. 52 divided by 4 gets us a value of 13. For number 6, we start with our parentheses and we multiply the -4 times the 7 and -5. -4 times 7 gives us a value of -28. -4 times -5x gives us a +20x. We combine our like terms, the 4x and the 20x together make 24x. And then our final steps are to solve. When we solve the equation, we work it backwards. We move the numbers away from the variable by doing the inverse or opposite operation. So a -28, the opposite would be a +28. We go ahead and we add those together and we get a value of +8. And our final step is to move the 24. 24 and x side by side means they're being multiplied. So we would do the opposite. We would divide. 8 divided by 24 gets us a fraction of 1/3. For number 7, again, we start with our parentheses, meaning we multiply our -2.5 times 3 to get -7.5x. We multiply again, -2.5 times -4 to get a value of +10. We then move our numbers away from the variable. So a +10 changes to a -10, which is an answer of 22.5. To move the 7.5 away from the variable x, we divide. 22.5 divided by the -7.5 gives us a final answer of -3. For number 8, we have 3 friends who each bought 2 slices of pizza and a drink at the mall. We don't know how much the pizza costs, so I'm just saying 2p for 2 pizzas. It tells us the drink costs 0.75 cents, and then we know the total of their order was $11.25. So we solve our equation starting by multiplying. 3 times 2 would give us a total of 6 pizzas. 3 times 0.75 gives us $2.25 spent on drinks. We start by solving the equation. We subtract out the drinks, the $2.25, to get an answer of $9. We then divide by our 6 slices of pizza, and we get an answer of 1.5, which in terms of money represents $1.50.